Hello ladies and gentlemen, and sadly this is the end of my time within San Andreas FInest. Obviously, I'm not in San Andreas FInest anymore, and in this video, I'm going to go through some of the reasons why I've left, but first I'm going to make a few mentions of the people I wanted to thank for all of my experiences while I was still in the community itself. Starting, J.Bowling. This man's been by my side ever since he joined the community, and man, he's always been so fun to roleplay with. He's a great friend. I haven't known him for too long, but I wanted to mention his name in this list. Next up, J.Ryan. He's been one of the best people I've ever seen roleplay. It's absolutely stunning. And those are the experiences that I couldn't pay for, and I couldn't think on SAF without thinking about Ryan. Also, I want to thank Touchdown for helping me while I was starting up the coroner's office, and I want to give him some credit for the work done there. In addition, M.Hunter helped me out a lot whenever I needed a partner for scenarios I did, and lastly, I want to thank Bailey for being such a kind soul, she always was, and always making light of any situation, always making me feel good. Moving on to the main reason why I left SAF, essentially, a few people within the community were sensitive to information that they wanted themselves. They asked for it, literally. I'm not even using that as like a metaphor. They asked for it. And they decided to turn around on me, making me look bad. So, this specific group was within the civilian chain of command, I believe, and were corrupt in whatever they did, whatever activities they took part in. They used their power against me and the other members. There were a few other members that got kicked out with me. I'm not going to name them for their sake. I don't know if they want people to know they got kicked out or not, but I'm not going to talk about that. But I was kicked out with a group of about 10 people. I wasn't really kicked out. They basically said, you can either leave or, we're going to force you out because they were absolute dipshits, but that is besides the point. But a few people from this corrupt group included C.Lou. He was literally the civilian director, and I was really disappointed in him. He was always quiet. No one really knew him well, but I don't know, he held grudges and he doesn't talk a lot. Next up, Civilian Supervisor G.Young, then J.Dimes, then lastly D.Blaze. He was really fucked up in the head. I don't know what was up with him, but he had issues. I don't know, daddy issues. I'm not accusing, but he definitely had problems. These members, they're corrupt and you can't trust them. They're arrogant to their duties and prefer the role for power. I hate to say it, but they really did. The group kind of sticks close together, and they often team up upon members purely because they disagree with what had been being said with the members. I mean, that being said, San Andreas FInest isn't that bad. It really isn't. I loved my time there. Most of the people were good, but these people really pushed me over the edge. SAF is comparable to a dictatorship. I'm going to say it flat out, they really are. Like, it is almost as bad as Aspiring Gaming. When I was in ARP, it was absolutely terrible with Fire Kitten. Oh my god, it was terrible. And I think to this day, it still stands that DOJRP had been the best community I had ever been a part of when it comes to roleplay. And so many people hate on DOJRP, and I don't get why. I really don't. I was there for about almost a year, and people really hate on it for no reason. And I still know people from there. They aren't that bad, and they get a lot of hate just because popular YouTubers dislike them. It's like little kids in politics. They follow whatever their parents say. It's absolutely stupid, and they just want to look good. I don't know. I really don't. But moving on. SAF had a lot of issues with their law enforcement specifically, as they operated really unrealistically and were given unheard of advantages. Like, for example, I think the state police Crown Victoria went about 160 at one time. It was absolutely stupid. I haven't seen a Crown Victoria in real life go above 100. So unrealistic, and I hated it. It made civilian roleplay boring. Nobody wanted to do it. And people no longer wanted to do civilian roleplay as they were forced to lose every single time. Like, take a simple pursuit. You may, by some grace of God, be able to flee and get away from the cops. However, the cops themselves, you know, they would report you to the civilian COC because they got, you know, you got away unfairly, even though it was totally clean. COC would encourage members to let the police win. And the police were so used to winning, they would start reporting people. You know, if they didn't, like if they didn't get their way. The COC really put themselves on some sort of pedestal, I don't know. And they have way too much power and say in what they do. They use their position to get themselves out of their own mistakes, and they blame members below them. It's really fucked up. The civilian department, like, practically banned any roleplay that the cops didn't win in. And they held specific grudges against me for, you know, what I did in the Plans Gone South video. Check it out. And I think, still to this day, it's still one of my favorite videos to record, and I don't regret a single second of it, man. You know, many of you won't like me saying this either, but fire has a lot of its own issues. Many people of their COC were stunningly wonderful, such as Lieutenant Dodd. I love him. He was always there for me. He was always there for anyone who was with him. But the foul side of the department, it's the Chiefs, bro. Even Ocean himself was corrupt sometimes, and he put on a facade whenever he creates videos or records streams. Campbell is arrogant on her streams, and she only does it for money. And she stated herself that, you know, she would leave if she could. However, Twitch is her only income. And she lies a lot. She really does. And Garland is a complete jackass. He has no manners. I don't know how he's a chief. And he talks to fellow firefighters like they're absolute shit. And other law enforcement too. You know, he was in the LSPD, and he's a complete jackass to everybody. And I can't blame him for that. He was raised like that, you know? But it's unacceptable, and, you know, firefighters can't make recommendations or anything like that because the COC will shut them down purely because they have one direction that they want the SFR to go in, and it is not for the members' benefit, I promise you. I mean, they are ignorant to the needs of firefighters and shut down any slight threat to their power, I'm telling you. There's no power in numbers for firefighters. Say if all 50 firefighters teamed up against the COC, it wouldn't make a difference. They'd probably just kick all of us out because that's how fucking arrogant they are. And it is dreadful to just be practically nothing to them, and it makes you not want to be in the department anymore. They suppress any grievances towards them because they don't want a bad reputation for their videos being the main face of SAF. And I mean, I couldn't share any complaints on this video until now in fear of being straight booted. The CFC always states that they want to hear out, air quotes, I know I can't see, but air quotes, formal complaints. However, all they do is just listen. I don't even know if they listen really, and they don't do anything about it. It's unacceptable. It really is, and you know, at this rate, I'm probably not going to be let back into SAF ever again for telling off all these people, but I want to give you like the insider's truth. The insider's truth, and that's what you deserve. If you're going to join, if you're still in it, I'm not saying leave, and I'm not saying don't join, but I'm saying these people you should really, really look out for. But most people I had good experiences with. I enjoyed them. That's why I was in SAF for around almost 2 years. I think I was in there for 2 years. It was wild. But at the end of the day, in addition of my causes for leaving, I of course have school and work and etc. to consider, and it complicates everything. And I really couldn't have stayed in SAF much longer anyways, to be brutally honest with you. As this video is coming to an end, you may wonder what this means for the future of the channel. Well, this will all be put into a part 2 of the Why I Left San Andreas FInest mini-series. And for now, I'd like to see what you guys wanted to see in the future of the channel. I cannot record too much these days, but I will definitely try. Thanks to the people who watched me because of me, wonderful me. and not just SAF. I really do appreciate them. But we are trying to get monetized soon. I got a few more months to do it before YouTube decides to reset everything like the jackasses that they are. Love you, YouTube. Love you. But I think that is going to wrap it up for this video. And please be sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. It means a lot. And anyways, thanks all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.